this exercise, is to work on pitch and tone and just getting a good sound to start your singing, okay? So if you're a beginning singer, this is a great exercise for you. So we're going to make the sound na. So if you think of like N for nose, so a nice forward sound on the n, get a nice buzz in the front of the face, and then we open up to an R, so we keep it connected. Na. Practice that for me. Na. Now we're going to go through the scale and sing na. So we've got a closed sound, then an open sound. Now, if you want to be able to check your pitch, you can get plenty of apps on I have a Android. If you've got a Apple device, I'm sure you can find one on your app store somewhere. I've just got this instrument tuner. That's all it is. So it's nothing too difficult to find. And you can see it comes up with the green letter is the note that you're singing. And then you have an arrow here to show you whether you're in tune or not. And you want it to be in that dark green section in the middle. If you're in the red sections, in the red zones, that means you're not singing in tune. So we're just going to go through each note. And the first thing we're going to do is try and see if we're singing on pitch. So that's the first exercise we're going to do. So that's C. So we're going to sing. Na. And you can see that it's in the green and the letter was C. Now, if you hold it sort of close to your mouth and then so that you can see what you're doing and then check the note that you're singing the correct note. So this is C sharp. Na. So making sure it's in the green. D. Na. E flat or D sharp. Na. Make sure it's in the green. Na. F. F sharp. Na. G. Na. 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 B. Na. And then C. Na. Okay, so that's checking for pitch. Now, when you're doing that, you might find that you're a little thin or a bit breathy or both if you're just starting to learn singing. So we're going to work on trying to get a bit of a clearer tone. To do that, the first thing we want to think about is lifting our soft palate. If you want to know more about the soft palate and how it works, I'll link a video below and you can watch that to learn all about the soft palate. I'm not going to go into it here. And so we want to raise the soft palate. So you might want to think of like the start of a yawn. So it's just like you're beginning to yawn. Or when you're surprised, you might go, ah, oh, that's a nice surprise. Ah. Or some people they breathe in and do a K. So breathing in, so like that. Breathing in and then doing the K. And you can actually feel the soft palate going up as the breath goes in. Okay, so this time we're going to sing the scale again, and you can use your app to check that you're singing the correct note. And this time on the R, so when you release the N to an R, I want you to imagine the soft palate going up as you sing, okay? So we have na, and raise the soft palate, okay? Up to D, C sharp or D flat. Okay, Now D, make sure lift the soft palate on R. Now D sharp or E flat. And now E. Now F. And now F sharp or G flat. G. G sharp or A flat. A. B flat. B. And then C. Okay. So hopefully it's a little clearer now, maybe not quite so breathy. And just by raising that soft palate on the R, that might help with that sound. And now the next thing I want you to do is to imagine that you're calling out the sound. So we want to have a nice resonant sound when we sing for most of the time. I mean, it depends on what we're singing, but for the most part, we want a nice resonant sound. So I want you to imagine that you're calling out to someone, you're telling them to stop. So you go, stop. So I've taken a breath and then I've called it out. I'm not yelling or screaming, I'm just calling. So be careful that you're not yelling and be careful that you're not screaming. So you prepare the breath and then call it out. Stop. Okay? So practice that for me. Stop. No. Okay? So it's not a yell or a scream, it's a call. We're calling it out. And when we sing the R now, we want to call out the R. So if we go stop, don't, no, ah, ah, call it out. Okay, so we want to call out the sound. All right, so we're going to go through it again. And this time, so you've got two things to think about. You've got the soft palate you need to raise on the R and then call it out. So we want to hear a nice resonant called out sound. Okay, so let's go. So we're starting on C. Call it out. Okay, C sharp. D. Call it out and lift that soft palate. E flat. Now E. Now F. Then F sharp or G flat. Call it out. Now to A. B flat. And B. And then C. Okay, so hopefully now we've gone through it 3 times. Hopefully you've got you're starting to get a better idea of pitch, that you're getting a clearer tone, and that you're making a more resonant sound. You're calling it out. So they're the 3 things I want you to be conscious of as you're doing this exercise. Make sure you're practicing it every day, every single day. I will also link below an audio recording of that exercise. So if you don't want to watch the video again, you just want to do the exercise, you can link to just the audio of that exercise as you go through it. Okay, so every day make sure you're practicing. Think about a clear, open, resonant tone.